Hey friends, and welcome to a flip through of fan favourites colouring book. I just thought I'd do a quick one as the artist. I'll let you see what's inside. So we start out with this fun floral cover, which is filled with lilies and little flowers and bugs and mice and little hidden birds, and a whole lot of fun. All right, get straight into it. This book belongs to page. I've done one of my little viney borders, which is also full of little critters. And straight into the book. This is our little info page. So, fun little bits. I think this little castle would be an interesting colour. Butterflies and flowers and dragonflies and a skull. All right, so we're straight into the book. You may have already heard that this is a collection of the favourite illustrations from my monthly newsletter. If you're on my newsletter list, then you'll know that every month I send out a newsletter with all the news and a complimentary colouring sheet. I've done that for over 5 years. This is a collection of the favourite illustrations from that time. We're starting out with a good book. Obviously, we've got our little girl here reading a good book. And I think her imagination's coming to life as she reads it, because we've got tentacles growing out of pots and a little suave cat wandering along in front. We've got dragons, stained glass windows. It's a fun little. I'll put it first because I like it a lot. Midnight Feast. Now, this was one that I did. Well, hang on, let's go back and go back to a good book and let's look at our duplicates, because I do have a second set of pages which are duplicates, but they're duplicates with a difference. So let's have a look at a good book. You'll see there's a few differences there. We have a cat who's asleep now on a bed. There's some mushrooms. The dragon's finished. I mean, not finished. The dragon's a different dragon. Little bits, little elements changed throughout that. So that is fun. And this is Midnight Feast, which is a whole lot of cute little critters, all just about to leap in and eat this lovely looking stump full of beautiful food. Looked on all these little birds and raccoons, squirrels and owls. This is the duplicate for that Midnight Feast. And you notice that this is sort of different. So this was the original illustration from my newsletter. And I love this. And I just wanted to play with this border a bit more because I just like this whole little layout. So I just wanted to play with it. And it's got almost graphic elements here with these little owls and this squirrel in the tree stumps. Whereas here it's sort of more realistic in a way. So I just pushed it because that's what I like to do. All right. And we have here the Springtime Florist, which is a florist shop with a moped out the front, surrounded by flowers. Very, very big flowers. But I think that just makes it a whole lot of fun to colour. Have a look at the duplicate for that. I don't think there are a heap of changes. And there really is just a background added to that. All right, here we have Spring Awakening. All these little creatures have awoken from their hibernation. Let's have a look. This is the duplicates with a difference. You can see they're either asleep or they're basking in the sun in this version. I think this is the one that went out with the newsletter. I just wanted them to all be a little bit more energetic, obviously soaked in the sun. Now they're off about their business. So it's almost a continuing story. All right, this one's called Tea for Two, and the border is really the hero on this illustration, but I quite like this little scene in the background here of these two sharing a pot of tea. So a little sugar lump going in to the tea, watched by a little bird. Now, duplicate is not tea for two, it's high tea for two. So the mushroom's a bit higher. We don't just have a little pot of tea, we've got a high tea. We've got little cakes and pastries and cupcakes. The same two characters, but they're happily upgrading themselves. And a little snail down here, quietly sliding along. Still got our teapot, it's just on a mushroom down below. Oh, this is Garden Guardians. A little gnome creature, looks like a snail shepherd, pushing those snails along. Well, let's have a look at the duplicate. It's our little snail creature again. We've added an extra house, a little mushroom house up in the corner here. Sort of balances it out a bit, and a black background with a moon. And I just like how this little river sort of flows through the whole illustration. All right, On the Wings of Whimsy. Now these little fellows are in their aeroplane, Little Parsnip and Le Carotte, on a mission. I think they're looking for a plot of unharvested carrots. They look like they're up to mischief, don't they? And this is the duplicate. This is the one that went out. I just wanted to push it a little bit further. I can't help myself, guys. I just leap in, see an yellow and go, oh, I want to play with that. So off I go. But this is more of a contraption. He's got a balloon attached to his plane, and the two of them are flying along, still searching. There's an extra couple of little birds joining into the fray. Oh, that's on the wings of whimsy. And this is spring flowers. Obviously, this is what was based on the cover. But because I didn't have to leave room for the title, I just made those lilies spring up through the middle of it all. Could be quite a striking thing if you get all the colours right on that one. And the duplicate, I think is I've just added some black background and some stars to make that one less confronting if you want to colour it and you want a quick colour. It's a bit of a head start. That's what the black backgrounds do. Here we have Larry live at Fallen Crown. I like Larry. I put him in a lot of different situations. He's been to see the Oracle. He's tells story around campfires about the terrifying bug catcher. And here he is playing his cello at the Fallen Crown. There's a little crown he's sitting in with the weeds growing through it. And there's a little house in the background and his motorbike. He's smoking a cigar. He's got a little bit of an audience. Hopefully he's being paid by the Fallen Crown proprietors as opposed to busking. This is the alternative version, duplicate with a difference. You can see he's no longer smoking a cigar. Instead, he's multitasking. He's playing a flute. He's still got his cello. And the sky is different. There's no bike and house. Instead, we've got fireflies and a moon set. And we've lost our little firefly here, so obviously they're in action now. Obviously playing a long time, Larry, at the Fallen Crown. I Met a Mermaid. Well, this is going to be the first one I colour from this book. I'm going to colour it because it's May and it's Mermaid. So here's our mermaid and our pirate. How can you go wrong with a mermaid and a pirate? There's treasure as well. Skulls, little fish, a happy sun. I don't really know what else you need. And this is the duplicate. What we've got there is a little bit of a difference to our mermaid, and it's an entirely different pirate. I think it's a similar treasure. I've extended the borders and added a little pirate ship in the top there. This is a little bit more information to colour. This is a bit more contained. All right, the owl and the pussycat went to sea in a beautiful pea green boat. Now, this was the original, which included the black background. And I really love it. I love the way that the moon walks into the sail, into the boat here. I would have to paint this boat a pea green. I do quite like the fish in the foreground. But when I went to put in the book, I thought, oh, I'm just going to play with those characters a bit. Sort of made them a little cuter. Well, these guys are cute, but these guys are just a bit different. So take your pick. Different lantern going on. Little changes. Just make it fun. Elephant Island. Oh, we like elephants. I like islands. I like boats. Put them all together, and what do you have? A little elephant island. And here is the duplicate. As you can see, I've added a little buoy fish. There's a lighthouse off in the distance, and there's some quite dramatic clouds in a night sky. So a few little tweaks to that one. And here we have fish tank. Now, fish tank, this was the original that I sent out. You see it's quite contained. There are all the little fish inside a picture, and we do have a bit of a change here. I've sort of reduced the complexity within this circle, but added some fun little borders to colour, which are full of crabs and jellyfish and fish, bits of coral. Quite fond of this one just because I love the attitude this little squirrel has. He's looking out from his little stash in the tree trunk with his hoard of nuts. But he's not just any squirrel, he's quite a stylish squirrel. Look at his jacket and his bow tie. It's almost like a crest. Oh, I like it. So this one I pushed it a bit further, given him a hat. He's now taken up smoking, and we have the entire tree trunk shown. Just a little bit more colour, just sort of a different version to play with. All right, Midnight Serenade. I think this is a more recent one. It's maybe from this year, and February this year maybe. This is two little cats. One's playing a serenade, having given a rose. There's love in the air. There's even love between the snails. There's love between these birds. This little girl's crying. The squirrel's crying because she's got no love, but he's just running late. That's Midnight Serenade. The duplicate with a difference is pretty similar. I've flipped the cats. Maybe it's another night, and I've removed the fish carcass just to sort of give it a bit more class. All right, Beanstalk. Obviously, Jack and the Beanstalk. Here's the story. Got little Jack hanging on for dear life. And looking into the distance, we see, or up in the clouds, we see the giant's house and the giant. And there's a little girl on a swift here, flying into scene. And I did play with this one a little bit. I changed the girl for an owl, and I changed the castle entirely, got rid of the giant, and put him in more control of his life. He's now climbing up quite happily that little beanstalk. Go, Jack, go. All right, this is Prey. Let's have a look at the duplicate first, because this was the original I sent out with the email. Look at this guy. I think he's chasing this little dragon. I don't know who's the prey and who's the predator. Just a fun little scene. And for this book, I pushed it a bit further. I flipped it. I brought the horse into the foreground, the horse and rider, and the dragon, which is a bit larger, in the background. I've added a castle and some forest. And I don't know who the predator or the prey is anymore. I guess that's for you guys to decide. But I just like that. The two characters here I love, so I just wanted to play with them and push them into a different place. Hopefully you guys will enjoy that. This is Discovery. This is another favourite. This little wizard doing his thing, looking into a crystal ball, reading his runes. He's got his dragon friend hanging over his shoulder, making sure he's doing everything right. There's a little frog and an owl watching. And the duplicate, I did add a black background, which I think just makes it a little bit simpler to attack. And I've changed a lot of the little things that are around on the base here, as you can see. Here we have pumpkin spice. Obviously a little pumpkin house. A gnomish dude, either starting out or just coming home from a walk with his ladybird friend. And this is the duplicate. I've added a border and a background and some fireflies once again. And also put a letterbox in the front of the house with the similar thatched roof to the house. All right, Pumpkin Thief. This was a huge fun one when we launched it. We did a competition with it. So I didn't think I could leave this one out, volume 1 of Fan Favourites, because it's such a favourite. So many beautiful renditions I've seen of this. So I just wanted to include it in a book so that it's been published. There it is, Pumpkin Thief. This little guy has obviously collected a hoard of pumpkins. He's sitting on it. And this little porcupine running through in the foreground. He's been given the eye. He's going to keep on moving quickly. And this one's, I think, very similar. I just added some black to the background there. All right, here we have Preparing for a Big Sleep. They're bears, but they're bees collecting honey. So this, I think, was the original. And for this book, I've added a whole lot more flowers and fun things floating around in the air, just to make it more fun. More flowers, more fun. All right, Trick or Treat. It's obviously from October last year, maybe. We've got these little monsters holding hands. They look a little bit shy. Could be love in the air. And we have like an autumnal border with a dragon in it and some little wormy things escaping. Or are they gummy bears? Who knows what they are? Let's have a look here. So there's a different dragon. We've got a vulture added. And the little guys have been replaced by this snake-like creature in the foreground. We still have the skull hidden there. And this is Dream Quest. I think this came out at the same time as we released Steampunk Revival. Let's have a look. This is the original. It's a simpler border. Just a fun excuse to draw a steam thing. So this little rabbit guy's out on a journey and a quest. This must be the dreamer. The quest, the dream quest. This is the same drawing in the middle, but I've put a really intricate border around it full of vines and flowers and hidden things for you to find. All right. T-, well, there's a bit of a Christmas vibe. Santa's Workshop. T-1. Hopefully that's not 1 second. So we've got different emotions happening in the workshop. We've got Santa looking a bit worried and the reindeer. We've got this guy happily oblivious to it all, just continuing on. He's running to get that package in on time. This one's just zoned out and having a coffee. And that one seems to have been, this little elf is having a nervous breakdown in the corner. Let's have a look at the duplicate for that. We've lost our reindeer. We've got a night sky. There's a different sort of timer. There's a few little different elements going on there. And catnip. Well, this is, I think, my second favourite in this book. I think A Good Book is my first favourite, and I finished it off with a similar sort of theme called Catnip. Because what better book for a cat to read than a book called Catnip? And here is our little cat. Quite a self-contained cat, quite a self-assured cat, wearing a fez. You've got to be pretty self-assured to wear a fez, don't you? And there is 3 little mice. This one's sort of hiding next to the milk. That one's walking along with his eyes closed. This one's having a cuppa. And a little window behind him with a bookshelf. Pretty cute. I did make some changes to the duplicate. All the mice are now looking like the 3 blind mice. So their eyes closed. This one's now got beer instead of tea. It's later in the day. There's a bit of a scene here. I've added a lamp, and this bookshelf's changed, and I've added this curtain. So that is the end of the book. This is a fun little dragon circle. Sort of matches the book belongs to. And what else do we have? Oh, that's the end. Ready for a new colouring adventure. This is a fun little watering can house surrounded by some fun bugs, a little bee and a caterpillar and a snail. I thought it was a cute way to end the book. And there are all the books that I've done. This is the 21st signature book. Well, guys, that was fan favourites. I think it's well worth doing, having all of those fun illustrations, the favourite illustrations over the last 5 years from my newsletter. I hope you love it. Let me know what you think in the comments. Remember to like and subscribe. And for now, I'm going to say goodbye, but I shall no doubt see you in another video. Thanks for watching. See you guys.